Welcome to the 10th Annual Hindu Youth Awards in Gala 2020. Today is a celebration of Hindu youth who are the future leaders of our society. Youth involvement in the Hindu community is our highlighted focus. Stay with us for the next 90 minutes for an exciting show and a rewarding experience. Don't miss the keynote speech from Nitish Bharadwaj, who played Lord Krishna from the Mahabharata TV serial. Welcome and enjoy the celebration with us.
मंगलम भगवान विष्णु मंगलम गरुड़ध्वजा मंगलम पुंडरीकाक्ष मंगलाय तनो हरि स्वस्ति न इंद्रो वृद्धश्रवः स्वस्ति न पूषा विश्ववेदाः स्वस्ति न अरिष्टनेमि बृहस्पतिर्दधातु
मंगलम भगवान विष्णु मंगलम गरुड़ध्वज मंगलम पुंडरीकाक्ष मंगलाय तनोहरि मंगलाय तनोहरि
Good evening. Jai Shri Krishna. On behalf of Vallabh Preeti Seva Samaj and Hindus of Greater Houston, I specially welcome our Consulate General Asim ji and all respected guests. Normally, Hindus of Greater Houston, when they are hosting that youth award, is a crowded place. People do not have place to sit. Today we have different circumstances, and we would like to ask for apology of our Asim ji that we have to arrange the program in little different way. But we are very proud that you are here all the way from San Antonio. Directly you came here to grace this function. Today is a day to recognize youth, Hindu youth, those who have contributed very nice activities out of box within this society. I remember my days. When I was kid, I was young. I had so many thoughts. I will achieve this, I will achieve this. So many dreams to achieve. But as time has gone, as wisdom has been read through the spiritual books, elders, I understand that there are 2 points in life one has to understand and digest. And that is karmanadhikaraste ma phaleshu kadachana. Do your duty. Do your duty religiously, and then do not worry about the result. Focus on your objective. Look at your objective. Be faithful to your objective. Do not miss any opportunity, but do not do your activity with expectation of result. Go ahead and do that. And I'm sure you will get success. With that said, today I'm also representing this temple, Vallabh Preeti Seva Samaj, and I would like to share some of the activities with all friends, including our chief guest. Sir, this is a temple of Shinaji, which is form of Lord Krishna. I'm glad to hear that CG has been to Shinaji, Nathdwara several times. He knows exactly what it happens there. And let me tell you, this temple, Vallabh Seva Samaj, is observing all those rules, spiritual rules, here at VPSS. I'm proud to say one thing more, that we are not limited to religious and spiritual activity only. We do our activities for community also. I'm happy to say that VPSS was the first organization who made 5,000 cotton masks. At the time when the cotton was not available, we made it available. We made 5,000 masks distributed with Houston Police Department, City of Houston, Methodist Hospital people, and Harris County staff. We also joined our hands with Seva International and distributed about 800 families with the food. We also organized medical camp. All this activity is possible because VPSS has a zeal to do for the people, for the community, and we do have young people, who is one of them who is present here. Last thing I would like to say that VPSS has Sunday school also. We have more than 100 students coming on Sunday, learning about our Hinduism. That's what we expect our next generation to observe. I'm glad that Rachana Ben Shah, a principal of our school, is also present here. With that note, I will invite Taraji to come forward and enjoy this function. Let's be proud of our youth, because we are confident on our youth. They will keep our heritage always a great. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Namaste to all. On behalf of the Board of Directors and the Advisory Board members of the Hindus of Greater Houston, welcome everyone to the 10th Annual Hindu Youth Awards and Fundraising Gala. We are thrilled we have been able to honor again this year the sincere efforts and achievements of our youth that are nominated by their respective organizations and temples. We are very grateful to the Honorable Consulate General of India, Shri Asim Mahajanji, for honoring us with his presence and also present this year's Hindu Youth Awards to the nominees and Special Service Award Akhil Chopra Unsung Heroes Awards this year. Thank you. Stay with us for the next 90 minutes and I'm sure you will enjoy the program. This year, 2020, has been an incredible year for HGH. We participated in 20 grand events, both in the Houston as well as international celebrations that we joined virtually online. The Bhumi Pujan at Sri Ram Mandir in Ayodhya, India was a major event celebrated all around the world. The International Yoga Day was marked by 3 scholarships to African American students to be trained as yoga teachers. Making a mark in another virtual event is Reflections at 50, Walking in Dharma, was another international conference we joined with the World Hindu Council and VHPA Global Conference in 2020. In the Vanaprasthi Network, we tracked the history of Hindus in America, especially us about Hindus of Greater Houston. The representation of the Houston Coalition Against Hate inaugural edition of our monthly newsletter, and also to help the COVID crisis, we addressed the pandemic shortage of blood. We organized blood and food drive in partnership with Arya Samaj of Greater Houston. Friends, prevention is better than cure. We ask everyone to follow all the COVID precautions, including social distancing, sanitizing hands, and wearing masks at all time. Once again, welcome all of you to the 2020 Annual Youth Gala and Fundraising Event. Thank you and namaste.
It's my honor to introduce the MC for the day, Gayatri Mullapudi. She's an undergraduate senior in the University of Houston studying her Bachelor of Science in Economics. She and her family has been ardent devotees of Sri Ganapati Sachidananda Swamiji of Mysore and has been associated with the Datta Yoga Center in Houston chapter for more than 16 years and has been one of the youth leaders lending their time, leading and being part of the satsang sessions in the center. She's also the events director for the Young Hindus of Greater Houston. She's a trained Carnatic singer who loves singing and teaching bhajans to young children. In her free time, she loves painting, playing badminton, volunteering, and spending time with her family. Gayatri Mullapudi. Welcome.
Next, we have Anish Nayak, who has been nominated by Seva International Houston. He is a Plan 2 public health and pre-medical sophomore at UT Austin. He is an avid fan of music and loves attending jazz, choir, and orchestra concerts at UT's Bates Recital Hall, as well as those at Rice Shepherd School of Music. He is currently part of the UT tenor and bass choir and hopes to add on a vocal performance minor in the near future. He loves playing tennis and he is a huge Rockets fan. Let's welcome Anish Nayak.
Namaste. First of all, I'd like to thank the Hindus of Greater Houston for electing me for this award. Sewa is a nonprofit organization that serves humanity irrespective of race, color, religion, gender, or nationality. With Sewa, I had the chance to work with intelligent and loving volunteers from all over Houston to teach and learn from students of Nepali, Nigerian, and Somalian backgrounds, and learn skills like building houses, carving wood, routing evacuation plans, experiences that are incredibly varied, yet have brought me closer to people all over Texas. Vasudeva Kutumbakam is a Sanskrit phrase that means the whole world is one single family. It's a philosophy that Brahma used in explaining that all of life originates from one place, that all of us are related and attached to each other in ways that supersede all tension, strife, and anger. It is also a philosophy that I believe embodies the true motivation behind the service that we as Seva volunteers provide, and it's a philosophy that I've learned to embrace during my 2 years as a Get Inspired Houston intern. This year has been unlike any year that I've been working with at Sewa. The Facebook Live sessions, the lesson plans on math, English, and history, and the College Preparatory Academy have all been new and exciting ways that GIH interns have crafted learning and leadership experiences for their students. But for me, this year was an opportunity to work with people of diverse backgrounds through a medium I've never really worked through before. Online instruction is an exciting way to impact students all over the world and an avenue that Seva hasn't had the chance to explore. I'm excited that GH interns this year have had the opportunity to lead Seva into a world of online instruction, yet at the same time had the opportunity to cherish what Seva really is about. Thank you.
The next awardee is Anusha Satyanarayan, who was nominated by Eternal Gandhi Museum of Houston. Anusha is a freshman pursuing a Bachelor's of Science in Neuroscience at UT San Antonio. She enjoys serving local communities and organizations during weekends. Anusha has been a student at the Abhinaya School of Dance since the age of 5 and completed her Arangetram, also known as her classical dance debut, in 2018 under the tutelage of her guru, Mrs. Indrani Parthasarathy. She has learned Carnatic classical music under the guidance of Mrs. Rajeshwari Bhatt of Houston for 5 years and has performed as well as been awarded in various cultural events. She is an active participant in all the Indian cultural events around Houston. Please invite Anusha Satyanarayan.
Namaste. My name is Anusha Satyanarayan. It was a great honor to have been nominated by Eternal Gandhi Museum of Houston to receive the Hindu Youth Award. Ever since I was a little child, Arya Samaj and Eternal Gandhi Museum Houston has been deeply rooted in my life. Being a part of such organizations made me realize the power of serving the community and how the helping hand can make the world a better place. Starting from volunteering in Eternal Gandhi Museum Houston's booths, selling books, fundraising for charities, MCing contests, Shraddhanjali events, 1,000 Lights of Peace, Walk for Peace, video edit helping, and being a social media promoter has led me to bring the light of leadership and kindness. Contributing to society can be equally as rewarding. Community service gives you a chance to evaluate your personal strengths and weaknesses. The key to enjoying the seva is to put yourself in situations in which you know you can make a difference. Although this year COVID was a challenge at first, when life gives you lemons, you have to make lemonade. Ultimately, COVID connected people, ideas, and energy across the globe. Eternal Gandhi Museum, in fact, had the opportunity to host a virtual speech contest this October, and I had the opportunity to be the MC for this virtual speech contest. I explained and promoted the very first virtual 1,000 Lights of Peace and Walk for Peace event through a video on Facebook and other platforms. I appreciate this award for reminding me to continue to grow and evolve myself to better serve the community. Thank you.
I'd like to first introduce Namita Palod. Namita Palod, born and raised here. She is one of the few students, the first few students when Arya Samaj Montessori School was first opened in Houston. She later years graduated from the UT Austin and then took a job. Her first paycheck to cut out $1,000 for the Montessori school that she studied, which was one of the remarkable achievements for a young child to remember her roots. And with that, I would like to introduce the speaker, an integral part of the Hindu Heritage Youth Camp. Namita started as a camper, then as a counselor and director, and now she is one of the executives who kind of held this most popular youth camp in Houston. It attracts about 200 children, all ages from junior to senior camp, and within a matter of 2 hours, 200 students are already filled up. So it is very difficult for people to get into this camp. It is one of the well-run, youth-run camps. And without much delay, Namita Palod, please give her a very big hand.
Namaste everyone. Thank you very much for this honor. Growing up, I was blessed enough to be a part of many of the local Hindu institutions here. My motivations behind attending these institutions varied a lot. Sometimes it was my parents' influence or which of my peers would be attending, and sometimes even the potential upside of having something worthwhile to add to my resume. However, as I progressed through my 20s, these factors were slowly removed. I really had to grapple with this last year when my manager at work strongly requested and recommended that I remove the sections on HHYC or Hindu Heritage Youth Camp and RAISE from my resume. I felt shocked at first at the thought of removing my most valued leadership experiences, but it made me realize that my motivations for continuing to be involved in these organizations had changed. I had already noticed this with camp, as the peers that I had started attending camp with and originally began my counseling journey with no longer volunteered while I had stayed on. They even asked me at times, Namita, isn't it time to let go? But to me, HHYC and HHYC and the many leadership qualities I'd gained from it were no longer helping advance my professional career and were questioned in my personal life. So why was I still a part of it? Why had I been sacrificing Sundays and vacation days for numerous years? I didn't have to tread far along this path to realize that I'd sacrificed absolutely nothing to stay involved with something so close to my heart. Every moment spent at HHYC helping youth develop a support system rooted in faith had profound value to me, and it also helped bolster my own faith. So if anything, maybe I had been a little bit selfish. I realized that the people at the forefront of the many influential Hindu institutions that I had attended growing up were usually always my elders, and how rare it was to find younger people involved. As a second-generation Indian American, we're often disillusioned into thinking that the way of supporting our Hindu community lies with our parents, while we should be focusing on solely professional growth. This is wrong, though. Our community has a tremendous amount to gain from the input of our own youth. As I've personally seen, we the youth also have a lot to gain from giving back, as it is through these acts of seva that we are able to continue on the Hindu path to find our best selves. It is only with the support of our institutions that we can continue to play a pivotal role in the future. After all, the primary way that people of my generation learn about various faith-oriented topics these days is through Twitter, Instagram, and in graphics shared through, where the focus is often to make content that is bite-sized and reaction-inducing, and it's also very rarely sourced by one of our own. With more youth involved in our community endeavors, we can finally have adequate representation to take responsibility for how our culture is portrayed to the world. Although enormous strides have been made here, and we can see this at these Hindu Youth Awards, a lot of work has yet to be done. My parents always stressed the importance of community involvement. A quintessential example of this is that to this day, after I graduate from high school, after I graduate from college, if you ask, if my papaji is introducing me to someone, he'll say, "Ye Namita hai, ye DAV gayi thi." And now, even if I go on to graduate from the most prestigious PhD program in the world, he'll still introduce me as, "Ye Namita hai, ye DAV gayi thi." And for that, I'm very glad, and I agree with him that this is an institution that holds a huge role in my life. Along with that, I'm tremendously thankful to my bhaiya and didi, who have been role models for me in every aspect of life, but especially due to how they have always made time for Hindu causes and taught me to do the same. This has just been an attempt. This recognition tonight is very humbling, but the work I've done has just been an attempt to repay the huge debt that I have to this community for being a guiding light in my life. I'm very thankful to HGH for spotlighting the work that youth are doing in our shared community, and hope that we continue to make time for our community. Dhanyavad.
Festivals are not only a form of cultural expression, they also help in bringing the community together. Hindus of Greater Houston was established in 1989. The intention was to bring together the entire Hindu community in one place and celebrate the most popular Hindu festival. Today, Hindus of Greater Houston has become an umbrella organization which has successfully served the Hindu community in Houston for nearly 3 decades and is supported by various Hindu institutions, temples, and sects.
Hindus of Greater Houston, that was formed about 29 years ago. A few passionate Hindus at the time, Padmakant Khambati ji, Raj Sayal ji, Bed Kulkarni ji, P.C. Sharma, and a few others, they all sat together at the only temple at the time called Hindu Worship Society, and they decided to bring the Hindus together. We formed an event called the Hindu Leaders Meet, where the leaders will come together, just as in Janmashtami or in the celebrations we bring the community together.
The idea to provide a forum to Hindu leaders has yielded wonderful results. It is not just about the formation of the support network, it is also about creating a way to exchange ideas and find solutions to existing problems.
One idea that our founders had is we don't need to have a temple. We do not need to have a place where we can meet, but just have 15 or 20 dedicated volunteers that can bring the community together and make sure that we celebrate our festivals together. In that, what they thought is if we can invite all the temples at one place, and that's why the biggest Janmashtami in North America is here in Houston. We've been working so far. Now we have added the Hindu camp, which I'm going to tell you runs 200 kids every year that go to this camp and learn about Hinduism. The way Hinduism is, what are the facets of Hinduism that are relevant to them in the modern world.
Ideally, we should have an organization like this all over the United States. The way I think it contributes is that it provides a platform for all Hindu organizations and Hindus to come together. And I think there are two major functions are celebrated. One is, of course, the Hindu Youth Award Dinner, other one is Janmashtami. But basically what it does is that there is an issue about a certain situation and Hindu community needs a voice. Then Hindus of Greater Houston really becomes a platform to give that voice.
One of the founder members, Padmakant Kambhati, he thought of voicing ourselves on the radio media. Every Sunday, we've been having a program for the past 25 years. And he propagated the fact that we talked about our Vedic literature, we talk about Bhagavad Gita, the values, and everything that we do. A lot of interviews also from visiting artists as well as many of the philosophers who come here, or the sadhvis and sadhus, we interview them on our radio.
There is only so much that we can do individually ourselves. We support every other organization that does anything related to Hindus, be it a Diwali Mela, be it a Holi, be it Dashera Diwali festival, be it Rath Yatra, whatever it is, you will always find Hindus of Greater Houston volunteers in their organizations supporting them, sometimes by just volunteering, sometimes financially, sometimes both.
Recently, we started a Young Hindus of Greater Houston, and I am now the president of that group, and we started that group for a few reasons. The first reason is we know that we've got to get young folks my age. So, and really when we say young folks, we mean 18 to 35 or 40. We're not going to be so strict on the age. Basically, that's the group we're talking about. And we know that we have to get them involved and engaged. So we wanted to start this group as a vehicle to make that happen. And so I'm excited because the Hindus of Greater Houston and the Young Hindus of Greater Houston are focused on building bridges across the community. In fact, I'm very excited to say that the Young Hindus of Greater Houston and HGH more broadly is part of the Houston Coalition Against Hate. That is a broad-based group of organizations working to foster a collective sense of community where all groups are living together in a peaceful fashion.
Our primary goal is to unite Hindus. But besides that, we also are very active with interfaith ministry in Houston. For example, if a Jewish school would like to get a Hindu speaker, then the interfaith committee contacts Hindus of Greater Houston and we provide them a good speaker. Similarly, if a police chief would like to want to address the faith community, then Hindus of Greater Houston takes the lead. They are the voice of Hindus.
Hindus of Greater Houston conduct every year Hindu Youth Award, select young people from various temples who have done extraordinary volunteer work in their respective temples.
The purpose of Hindu Youth Awards annual events is to inspire the Hindu community by recognizing and highlighting the achievements of young Hindu leaders for their performance in academics, service, and leadership. The annual event is held at a different temple each year. This provides an opportunity for Houston's Hindus to familiarize themselves with the various Hindu temples in the city. Thus, it is important that community members' spiritual wealth, foundational values, and ethos are preserved. Understanding this very well, Hindus of Greater Houston has been playing a significant role by helping the Houston-based Hindus to be a part of a well-knit community, spreading harmony and unity among themselves and helping them to be better prepared to serve the nation.
Good evening, everybody. Thank you for watching what's going on. By now you would have been inspired with what these young children are performing, what they're doing for the society. All good things that any organization does requires funding. And my humble request to you is to kindly donate generously, do your part as best as you can. No donation is small. We request you to kindly go to our website www.hindusofhouston.org and go ahead and donate. It's very simple. Every donation of yours will be well utilized. That's a guarantee from us. Thank you.
Next, we have Nitya Raman Kulangara, who is a freshman at the University of Houston Honors College. At the University of Houston, she is part of the Bonner Leaders Program and the Indian Student Association. Nitya was nominated by Sri Meenakshi Temple. She has been part of the Meenakshi Temple community for the past several years, and she volunteers at the Vedic Heritage Society and other temples. Thank you. Please welcome Nitya.
Namaste everyone. My name is Nitya Raman Kulangara, and I first want to begin by thanking the Hindus of Greater Houston for presenting me with this award. And I also want to thank my family and friends for all their support. In addition, I'm also extremely grateful to all the members of the Sri Meenakshi Temple Society for the continuous support and encouragement throughout these past several years. It has truly been a blessing to be a part of the Sri Meenakshi Temple community. As a child growing up in America, questions such as, "What's that dot on your forehead?" and "Do you speak Indian?" always made me feel very out of place and like I didn't belong. However, attending the temple's Vedic Heritage School made me feel like I had a home. Learning about the lessons taught by our gods made me much more aware of a rich culture and also enabled me to gain a sense of identity and pride for our culture. It was also through Vedic Heritage School that I learned the importance of seva. After finishing Heritage School, I was able to go back and volunteer there, and it made me extremely happy to see all the eager and excited kids in the shoes that I was in learning about Hinduism. Outside of the temple, I was able to actively participate in numerous events hosted by my local city and also spend a summer volunteering at a nearby hospital. Having these experiences serving others made me begin to realize it's never the size of the impact, but rather the passion and the love that you put into every service you do. This idea is especially true during this pandemic. Every service, no matter how small, from writing thank you letters, thank you notes to healthcare workers, to helping with the food drive, it is all very impactful. As Mother Teresa has said, not all of us can do great things, but we can do small things with great love. Thank you.
Thank you, Nitya. Next awardee is Sandeep Prabhakar, who is nominated by Global Organization of Divinity. Sandeep is a senior at Sywoods High School and an Eagle Scout, which is the highest rank in Boy Scouts. Currently, he is in the process of applying for university, and he hopes to pursue engineering at Texas A&M. He has a passion for playing the violin and watching cricket. Let's welcome Sandeep.
Hello, Radhe Radhe. I thank the Hindus of Greater Houston for bestowing me with this youth award. It is purely by the grace of Bhagavan Sri Krishna and my Guru, His Holiness Maharanyam Sri Sri Muralidhara Swamiji, that I've been blessed to be a part of the divine service. I would like to thank my parents, without whom I wouldn't be here. Also my mentors, Sri Jivanji and Sri Sriramji, for guiding me through. In my organization, we emphasize on chanting Lord Krishna's name, specifically the Hare Rama Mahamantra Nama Japam. We do this in order to instill peace, bring prosperity, and to teach us the importance of giving back. This has not only helped me develop my character, it's also allowed me to give back to my organization and my community through hard times. During the pandemic, I wanted to help Namadwa, my organization, by building a garden so that we could use flowers such as tulsi for prayers towards Lord Krishna. The only thing that stood in the way of committing the seva was the pandemic itself. I saw setbacks, delays by the number of cases, or if a person that helped me was sick. However, I was not faced by this obstacle. By the grace of Bhagwan, I was able to organize, plan, and eventually finish the task of building this garden. Chanting the Mahamantra has not only helped me realize the value of service, but it's also made me more connected to my religion. It's made me interested in the stories of the Puranas and the Vedas that make up the foundations of our religion. Without this mantra, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, I wouldn't have learned the importance values of service, reverence, and interest. I once again thank the Hindus of Greater Houston for this award. By the grace of Lord Krishna and my Guru, I pledge to continue my association with Sanatana Dharma, and I would like to do my service whenever possible. Thank you. Radhe Radhe.
Thank you, Sandeep. Next, we have Kriti Patel, who was nominated by VPSS of Houston. She is 23 years old, and for VPSS, she serves as the Database and Reporting Coordinator. She graduated with a Bachelor's of Science in Health from Texas A&M in 2018 and a Master of Physician Assistant Studios in 2020 from UTMB. She is now working as a cardiothoracic surgery PA with Houston Methodist West. In her leisure time, she likes to paint, swim, and cook. Let's welcome Kriti Patel.
Jai Swaminarayan and good evening. I'm very thankful and humbled to be standing here in front of our esteemed guest, as well as the members of the Hindus of Greater Houston community. I must say that as a young Hindu, our generation, our kind, lives in a world full of crises, whether that be a life-threatening pandemic or our YouTube video stopping midstream. We live in what we see as a plethora of peril, stress, and struggle. The one thing, though, that we have at our disposal is our faith. Our faith in karma, our faith in destiny, and above all, a faith in Bhagwan. As we grew up and we started going to the VPSS mandir in Houston, I learned the famous words of our Guru, Pramukh Swami Maharaj, "In the joy of others lies our own." This taught me that it is the responsibility of all of mankind to make a promise to build a better future for tomorrow's generation and to nurture a cohesive mentality which benefits us all and carries forth our traditions, heritage, and culture. We may find that in this time of hardship, it is hard to cling to a religion which provides spiritual rather than a tangible benefit. However, all of us here today have found ways to stay connected. For the team that I work with, we set up activities such as virtual yoga classes, virtual cooking classes, and even rangoli making classes. I will say this, that the pandemia has caused much trouble, but it has taught us to cling to those we love, such as our family, friends, and our community. At a time like this, it's also important to cling to a higher power. We may find that at times we forget about Bhagwan, although he never forgets about us. In times of distress, we remember him, and after crossing hurdles, we thank him. But in times of rejoicing, such as here tonight, it is easy to let our egos, our man, grasp our thoughts. So today we thank God for each other and for our community. I would not be here without the guidance of my gurus, Pramukh Swami Maharaj and Param Pujya Mahant Swami Maharaj, as well as my parents. As a closing thought, I speak for our generation when I say, we may have struggled, but we will come out victorious. We will make it a goal to serve others and pass forth our Hinduism, a religion filled with love, pure intent, and selfless service, for in the joy of others lies our own. Thank you.
The next performance is by children from Clear Lake, Houston. These children are performing a dance in the style of Dandiya Ras. We would like to give a big thank you to Pooja Joshi and the parents of these children for coordinating this performance. We hope that you enjoyed this program. Thank you.
सनन जाए रचिया करबे की रात में चूड़ी खनकाई तूने आधी ही बात में सनन सनन जाए रचिया करबे की रात में चूड़ी खनकाई तूने आधी ही बात में करबे की रात पिया धड़के मेरा जिया कह देना आज तू है मेरे साथ ढोलना ढोल वागे 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 रे ढोलना ढोल वागे 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 रे भैया माँ वागे वागे ढोल वागे रे भैया माँ वागे वागे ढोल वागे रे ढोलीरा ढोल हैया माँ वागे वागे ढोलीरा ढोलीरा ढोल हैया माँ वागे वागे ढोलीरा घिर 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 के आई बारिश बरसात माँ उड़े 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 जिया गोरी तेरे साथ माँ हाय, घिर 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 के आई बारिश बरसात माँ उड़े 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 जिया गोरी तेरे साथ माँ की डोरी से हाय खींचे क्यों चोरी से हाय नैन की डोरी से खींचे क्यों चोरी से ऐसे मुझे तड़पाए हाँ करबे की रात पिया धड़के मेरा जिया कह देना आज तू है मेरे साथ ढोलना ढोल वागे 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 रे ढोलना ढोल वागे 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 रे भैया माँ वागे वागे ढोल वागे रे भैया माँ वागे वागे ढोल वागे रे ढोलीरा 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 ढोली 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 वागे ढोलीरा ढोलीरा वागे ढोलीरा
To start off, we have Vipashit Nanda, who was nominated by Arya Samaj of Greater Houston. He has been involved with Arya Samaj for 8 years. He is currently a senior at Care High School. He holds leadership as the president of the school's National Honor Society, and he is the co-founder and vice president of an environment-based club called the Care Synthesizers. In his leisure time, he enjoys reading, soccer, gardening, and learning about politics.
Namaste everyone, my name is Vipashit Nanda, and first of all I would like to personally thank HGH for presenting me this award and Arya Samaj of Greater Houston for nominating me. I've been attending Arya Samaj of Greater Houston since I was only 9 years old. Coming into America at such a young age with barely any knowledge of the country and language, I was quite scared, and as a result, quite shy. At Arya Samaj, I was truly able to express myself and become part of such a wonderful community and family. Being part of Arya Samaj, it gave me a chance to learn Vedic teachings and principles that have come to define me and my religious identity. Although I came as a shy kid, reluctant to go to the Arya Samaj weekly sessions, I soon came to love the energy espoused in the community and its passion for community service, especially shown in the high school service group called Arya Yuva Mandal, or AYM. I have realized that the core message of Arya Samaj, which is Krinavanto Vishwamaryam, or make the world noble, is an important aspect of my life, and that through community service, I'm able to fulfill this. Being a part of AYM gave me a chance to give back to the community while spreading Vedic values, facilitating and participating in events like the Diwali Mela, Interfaith Ministries, Meals on Wheels, and many more. Being president of AYM has given me a chance to spread the message of service to my fellow peers and inspire them to uphold the pillars of Arya Samaj and the message of Krinavanto Vishwamaryam. This pandemic has taken a toll on all of us, and that's why it's even more crucial to help out in the community and reach out to the vulnerable people impacted. That's why whatever limited opportunities I have access to, I take. And namaste.
Next, we have Abhimanyu Agarwal, who was nominated by Vishwa Hindu Parishad. Abhimanyu has served as the director of the Hindu Heritage Youth Camp in 2019 and 2020, and as a counselor since 2015. He is a chemical engineering graduate from UT Austin, and he now works in the Houston area as an improvement engineer in Olin Corporation. Let's welcome Abhimanyu Agarwal.
Namaste. I want to start by saying thank you to the Hindus of Greater Houston for organizing this great award show. I also want to say thank you to the entire Hindu Heritage Youth Camp family who do all of the work in making camp possible every year. Camp was no exception to being completely different this year because of COVID. We delayed the decision of canceling in-person camp this year to the latest we could because of the joy that we have in holding camp every year. We weren't sure if we could recreate the magic of camp virtually or if it was worth it trying. Looking back, I can say with 100% confidence it was worth it. We converted 2 5-day sessions to 1-hour sessions every day for 5 weeks with over 120 campers. On the last day of camp, we asked the campers about their experience. Many of them had said that doing the virtual sessions online was their favorite part of the day, the part they would look forward to every day because they couldn't do much else due to COVID. A lot of these kids had been home since March, not doing much. I was one of 2 kids, Hindu kids, in our class of 750 in North Houston in Kingwood High School who was Hindu. Growing up Hindu in America, there are many forces that make you question your identity, some subtle and some not so subtle. It's easy to lose connection or confidence in your culture if you don't have the support of your peers or the institutions that you value. That is why I believe camp is so important and I've continued to be a part of it. Camp builds lifetime connections because everyone can relate to each other's experiences and you can learn the value of your culture from people that you trust. I saw that as a high school senior when I first attended camp 6 years ago. It was one of the first times in my life I was truly comfortable being who I was in America. I am glad we were able to continue camp this year. These times remind us about how relevant and how valuable our Hindu culture is. Many of us have experienced several internal struggles due to the changes COVID has brought and all that is going on in the world. Our focus on camp education this year was the Bhagavad Gita. Sri Krishna tells Arjuna in the Gita, "For those who have conquered the mind, it is their friend. For those who have failed to do so, the mind works like an enemy." I hope through camp, all counselors and campers are inspired to learn more about Hinduism and inspired to personally grow from its teachings. I know this has been the case for me. Thank you.
Next awardee for the night is Rajat Shah. He has been nominated by Vallabh Vidya Mandir. He was born and raised in our own city, Houston, Texas, and is currently a sophomore at Duke University, majoring in neuroscience and minoring in global health and biology, and he aspires to study medicine in the future. He has been nominated once again by Vallabh Vidya Mandir, where he attended classes for 11 years and has been involved with the Mandir for 13 years. These days, he enjoys playing basketball, organizing high school debate tournaments in his free time. He is a huge Houston sports fan. Let's all welcome Rajit Shah.
Community. My name is Rajit Shah, and I'm honored to have been selected by tonight's hosts, VVM and VPSS, for this award. I started my relationship with this organization over 13 years ago, 11 of which I attended classes at VVM, and I am proud to say that I am still involved with activities here. From social events to volunteering activities, VVM and VPSS has been a place that brings together the Hindu community. My most memorable experiences were the family field trip to Austin, where we visited the Barsanadam Mandir and the Capitol. It was a time for the Mandir to explore our state while also spending time together and becoming closer as an organization. I also fondly remember the VVM Carnival, where I got to see other kids like myself have a great time with their family and friends. It marked a festive time of the year that I'm sure that everyone at VVM and all those who attended looked forward to happening every single year. VVM was also a source of community service, from several food drives for the Houston Food Bank to the recent COVID-19 mask drive that Rasa Shankal here was talking about, just to help out those people in Houston who needed help protecting themselves from the pandemic, someone to reach out for them, and I'm very glad that Vallabh Vidya Mandir was there to have their backs. Overall, it was great to see everything that the Mandir stands for in action and making a difference in the community, while simultaneously bringing together its members. VVM and VPSS is where I have made many memories, met my closest friends, and have grown up. I'd like to thank my parents, Rasa Shankal, HGH, and all of the higher-ups here for nominating me and making this place feel like a second home. Thank you, and Jai Shri Krishna.
Anisha Gandhi. I'm one of the board members for Hindus of Greater Houston. This is my serious and most sincere appeal to all of you to contribute to Hindus of Greater Houston. They do amazing work, the Hindu camp every year, inspiring our youth to teach them culture, heritage, and leadership skills, which will help them along their life for years to come and impact the rest of the greater community. So please go to www.hindusofgreaterhouston.org and contribute at any amount that you feel comfortable, but I can guarantee that it's going to good use and impact is greater.
And without much ado, I would like to introduce the second young woman leader, Komal Luthra. Komal is a champion to take up an idea that Sri Dev Mahajanji, the chairman of our advisory board, with the idea of setting up a Young Hindus of Greater Houston. It was challenging when the youth are reluctant and to get enthusiastically involved. But Komal, with her drive and initiative, successfully has grouped a band of volunteers and made quite a few members of the Young Hindus of Greater Houston, one of whom is Gayatri Mulapadi, our MC of the evening. Komal Luthra, among the many activities she has organized for HGH, she feels proud of her culture and stands up for its values and beliefs. On the recent global pandemic times, she planned to rebuild certain aspects of HGH to recruit new members and meet periodically over virtual meetings. Currently, our world being hit with a devastating virus impacting people all over the world, Komal is a frontline worker with a very busy schedule, being a third-year medical student at McGovern Medical School at UT Health. I thank Komal for her acceptance speech with this video presentation for the special awards tonight we are celebrating.
I am humbled and honored to receive a Hindu Youth Award today. 3 years ago, I served as an intern of Hindus of Greater Houston and took on the initiative to develop an organization for college students and young professionals with the purpose to create a sense of community and provide opportunities to stay connected with our faith and culture. I saw a lack of engagement in people my age and wanted to change that. Oftentimes, some of us lose touch with our roots after moving on to college or into the professional world. However, we must not forget that the young generation is the future. We must be prepared to teach, lead, serve, and nurture future generations. I envision this organization accomplishing these very goals. Serving as a founder and executive director of this organization has been a wonderful experience. It has contributed to my development and growth, not only as a leader, but as a person who proudly represents my culture, values, and beliefs. This year, unfortunately, our world was hit with a devastating virus impacting people all over. However, Young Hindus of Greater Houston did not end its activities. In fact, we took this time to rebuild certain aspects of our organization, recruit new members, and find ways to hold fun and engaging activities virtually. A couple successful virtual events we have held this year include a Black Lives Matter panel called How Can I Be a Better Ally?, in which we had 3 wonderful guest speakers from diverse backgrounds. In addition, we had a volunteer event to write thoughtful messages to COVID-19 frontline workers and prepare hygiene kits for those in need. Through events, activities, and meaningful discussions, I hope that we can advocate for important issues and support the community around us. I am looking forward to all our future events and activities, And most of all, I hope that this organization can inspire Hindu youth across the nation to create organizations like this. Thank you again for honoring me with this award.
Hindus of Greater Houston is honored and overwhelmed with joy to receive the message from the Office of the Prime Minister of India, Shri Narendra Modi ji. The message reads, I am happy to learn about the virtual Hindu Youth Awards being held at Greater Houston in the United States of America. Heartiest congratulations to all the award winners on the occasion. The awards are an opportunity for the Indian diaspora, particularly the youth, to further strengthen the connect with their roots. The Indian diaspora, settled in different parts of the world, have been the ambassadors of our glorious culture and tradition. With a noble philosophy of love, harmony and compassion, Sanatan Dharma is a guiding light to humanity. Its universal appeal has always attracted and influenced the people across the world. Our rich cultural heritage is marked by a continuity spanning thousands of years, transcending physical and geographical boundaries. The principles of Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam inspires the diaspora to strengthen the bonds of brotherhood among multicultural societies. We firmly believe in embracing the affluence of our cultural lingual diversity to further the integration of hearts and minds. The Hindu Youth Award winners will surely help propagate the richness of our magnificent identity, particularly among the young generations. I wish the organizers, the award winners, and the participants a prosperous future. May the digital award ceremony be a huge success. Signed, Narendra Modi, dated 18th December 2020, and addressed to Tara Narasimhan, President, Hindus of Greater Houston. Hindus of Greater Houston sincerely thanks Honorable Shri Narendra Modi ji for taking the time and endorsing the Hindu Youth Award function in Houston. Dhanyavad. Howdy. Remember what it is famous for? Yes. Most people talk about Texas A&M, but Howdy became very famous after Modi ji came to Houston. Today, I have the honor and privilege to introduce an awardee whom I got to know very well during the Howdy Modi event. This young man is seen everywhere. He's a silent but persistent Karyakarta, but never much noticed. Dr. Madan Luthra. He's a retired research scientist of the University of Texas MD Anderson Cancer Center and a previous faculty of Baylor College of Medicine. He has been associated with Seva International for 5+ years. He volunteers as a core lead in case management division of the Family Services Program of Seva International, a Hindu faith-based non-profit that helps local communities. As one of the program initiators in Houston, Madan ji and his team step in like a family member to help those coping with emergencies, accidents, medical issues, death and bereavement, and family disputes. He has a passion to serve the community at large. He and his wife, Raja Lakshmi, longtime faculty at the UT MD Anderson Cancer Center, have been living in Missouri City since 1980. They have son Jay, daughter Sonia, son-in-law David Myers, and 3 granddaughters, Maya, Surya, and Shane. Kindly, may I request Madan Luthra ji to kindly come on stage and say a few words. Thank you.
Namaste everyone, and Honorable Chief Guest, the Consulate General of India, Shri Asim Mahajan ji. I am humbled that Hindus of Greater Houston HGH Board of Directors and Advisor Board of Members have nominated me to a Akhil Chopra Unsung Hero Award 2020. I accept this recognition with immense gratitude and humility. HGH is dedicated to bring all Hindu faith-based organizations to unite and come under one umbrella and work together. Their effort of celebrating Janmashtami year after year is remarkable and exemplifies how all Houston organizations are brought into one sutra. Why Akhil Chopra Award? Akhil Chopra was a young man of 28 years of age when he was shot to death on August 11, 2005, while meditating in a park. Akhilji was actively involved in serving several non-profit organizations, including Hindu Student Council, Hindus of Greater Houston, Hindu Swam Sangh, S. Vyasa Yoga, Vishwa Hindu Parishad, and several Hindu temples in Houston area. A talented medium person, Akhilji dedicated his life to spread goodwill and interfaith harmony. He was also taking a lead role in organizing Houston Janmashtami festivals for the benefit of all Indian American community. The Houston Janmashtami Committee has instituted the annual service award in the name of Akhilji to honor his legacy of selfless serving humanity, and I'm so proud of HGH for continuing this tradition. As you know, in Hindu ways of life, seva is considered a paramadharma, one of the highest virtues. Our scriptures also refer Nar Seva, Narayan Seva, meaning serving humanity and serving divinity. Seva is a common thread factor which unites all faith-based organizations. To create universal peace, harmony, and prosperity, it's important that we create a spirit of seva within us. Seva can be performed with tan, man, and dhan. Tan is giving a physical support. I is your time to help others. Man is important to support given through the human love, compassion, and care. And dhan is a support given by sharing your resources with other individuals who have less or in very dire need of it. My spirit of Seva Bhav attracted me to join Seva International, a non-profit Hindu faith-based organization whose main mission is to provide selfless service, nishkam, karma, action without expectation of any fruits. I'm heavily involved in one of the projects of Seva International, the Family Services. In this project, volunteers contribute their efforts to help families and individuals when they are challenged due to emergency situations such as family disputes, sudden illness, accidents, death, and funeral. Our volunteers and case manager jump as one of the extended family members to contribute their helping hand in all respects. Due to this case management experience during COVID crisis, we were able to provide help to many individuals and families through delivering groceries, aiding stranded international students, supporting grieving families, and helping to arrange COVID testing. With constant backing and support of Consulate General of India and their staff, through Vande Bharat flights, we were able to facilitate the travel of many individuals who were stranded in USA due to various reasons during this lockdown crisis. I would like to acknowledge my sincere gratitude to Jasmine Ji especially, that helping in this situation tirelessly. During these COVID times, I was personally involved in arranging few funerals of their loved ones when none of the close family members and friends were able to come to join final Antam Sanskar and final rites. My participation to share the griefs of these families at these crucial and tough times was highly touching experience for me. In Houston area, 2 individuals were severely affected. by COVID, and they were being treated in ICUs in the medical center. We were able to help the family and kids while they were in quarantine. With community help and seva bhav of many individuals, we were able to find convalescent plasma donors for their treatment. Furthermore, we were able to launch a covalent plasma donor registry nationwide to help COVID-afflicted patients. As my involvement gets deeper to encounter these situations, I feel strongly need of selfless service for community is very important and should be established in all organizations. Selfless service is also rewarding for the self-improvement of Sabhavna, eventually cherishing the feeling of Sarve Bhavantu Sukhina. It's really great to see the youth gathered today who have been enthusiastically serving temples and Hindu faith-based organizations. I applaud for all of them how much they have dedicated themselves and found unique ways to promote the values of Hindu ways of living and community service during this COVID crisis. To all the youth, my message is continue to excel in engaging to seva and inspire others and keep the legacy of Akhilji alive. Dhanyavad.
Thank you, Madanji. Hindus of Greater Houston is privileged that Honorable Consul General of India, Mr. Asim Mahajan, has agreed to be the chief guest for the event. Thank you, sir. He assumed charge as Consul General of India in Houston in January 2020. Prior to that, he was Ambassador of India to the World Trade Organization in Geneva. In his earlier diplomatic assignments, he has served as a Deputy High Commissioner in Kuala Lumpur, Dhaka, and he was the Consul General of India in Osaka, Japan. Remember the word, Osaka, Japan. While at the Ministry of External Affairs in New Delhi, he has served on various desks, handling affairs to the United Nations, Bangladesh, Sri Lanka, Myanmar, Maldives. Besides, he's also served as a staff officer to the Minister of State for External Affairs as Joint Secretary coordinating the management of the annual Hajj pilgrimage from India. He has a master's degree in diplomatic studies from the Oxford University in the UK, a master's degree in management studies from BITS Pilani, and is also trained in the World Trade Organization law. He speaks Japanese, remember, connection with being the CGA of Japan, in Japan. He speaks Japanese apart from English, Hindi, and some other languages. He is married with a son and daughter. Please join me in welcoming our chief guest, Honorable Consul General of India, Asim Mahajanji, this evening.
Good evening to all of you. It gives me great pleasure today to join all of you for this ceremony, which is actually to celebrate the contribution of our youth and recognize their service to the community and the various organizations. As two vibrant, multicultural societies, as large democracies with shared values, complementarities, India and United States are natural partners. Our comprehensive strategic partnership is broad-based with growing engagement in all areas, including areas like energy, defense, security, trade and investment, and growing people-to-people contact. We also share a very strong connect between India and this part of United States with deepening of our multifaceted ties. All of you know we are going through these challenging times during the pandemic, and hence we are meeting like this. It has been really a different experience for me, I think equally for all of you as well. But even during this pandemic, we have been working closely with the United States in several areas, including areas like medical research, healthcare, innovation, technology, global supply chains, and other areas. I wish to share with you briefly of what the consulate has been doing in the last couple of months. I came here in January this year, and since mid-March, all of you are aware that this pandemic broke out, and ever since we have been trying to deal with it. But also, I think after so many months, we have fairly adapted to it, the way we are meeting today, and we are much more experienced. But in the beginning of this pandemic, we have all gone through very challenging times, especially at the consulate. We receive thousands of mails on our helplines, calls on our helplines, which has crossed more than 30,000 now. And I tell people these are actually helpline calls, which is about individuals, it is human stories, people in need. And we have tried to our best. We strive to assist the community and to serve everyone. In the first 2 months, there were no flights. Madanji earlier in his remarks has already mentioned the challenges through which we are going through, but we ran the Vande Bharat mission. There were several short-term visitors, there were students, there were other visitors who got stranded here. We did our best to support them, to assist them, and I am really proud of the Indo-American community based here. As Madanji mentioned, people who are ready to serve the community, who went out of their way to do whatever they could. Whoever we reached out to during this period tried to do his best. The awards being given today are to acknowledge the service and contribution of our youth for community services, for promoting culture, heritage, and various initiatives. You have all displayed leadership in your areas as volunteers, as mentors. I find from the range of awards being given, you have done various events, tried to help in your own unique way, which is really commendable. And especially during this pandemic, I think it is something which really helps the community. Madanji mentioned, and I think all of us believe in that serving the community is serving divinity, it is service to God. We have all grown up like that, and it is manifest in the activities which you are doing today. I accepted this invitation, and I think one of my key motivations was that this will be honoring the youth. I participate in many community events, calls, activities. We talk to diverse people. We are trying to do them over Zoom, and over the last couple of months, I think we have done multiple of them in different configurations, in different geometries. We have spoken to student associations, we have spoken to communities in all the states we cover, we have spoken to cultural organizations, we have spoken to social organizations, and it is such a diverse basket of issues, areas and things which people are trying to do here. There are so many organizations which are working on social issues of the community. They are working on issues like mental health. They are trying to support people in that area. They are trying to support for community issues. There are so many people who are running food distribution drives. They go to the food banks. There are, I think, multiple activities which people are trying to do, and it really makes me proud that so many youth are associated with it, and I cannot undermine the importance of this. The participation of youth is also important because they are the visionaries, and I don't need to say that, but obviously all of us understand the importance of connecting our youth with our tradition, with our heritage, with our values, with our culture as parents, as responsible members of the society, because it builds a very strong foundation of the community of which we are all part. It is not just about serving the community, but it is also sharing your joy together. The diversity of India, the many festivals we celebrate together, the many other social events you do together, your own ceremonies at home. It binds you together in a much stronger way, and I can assure you that takes you a long way throughout your life. Madanji, with so much of experience, has listed what he has gathered in his experience, and I agree with what he was saying, that I think as you serve the community, it comes back to you in a bigger way. This recognition which people are getting today is not only a reward in itself, but it will give you a lot of sense of satisfaction and make you feel to do more. So I think it is I again acknowledge the good work which you have all put in. Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam, as they say, is a strong belief in India. The world is a family. Even during this pandemic, India put out one of the most robust responses. Houston is home to the largest one of the largest medical complexes in the world, the Texas Medical Center. So healthcare, medical research, aerospace, defense, these are all areas. You are all young people. Whatever ideas you have, please do share with us and be part of our initiatives. We really look forward to your support, and congratulations again to all of you.
Thank you very much, sir. I got one more item to give you.
Award will be given out to Vipashit Nanda, who has been nominated by Arya Samaj of Greater Houston. Second award will be to Anusha Satyanarayan, who has been nominated by Eternal Gandhi Museum, Houston. Third award goes to Rajit Shah, who has been nominated by Vallabh Vidya Mandir. Fourth Youth Award goes to Nitya Ramankulangara, who has been nominated by Sri Meenakshi Temple. Fifth award will be for Sandeep Prabhakar, who has been nominated by Global Organization of Divinity. Fifth award will be going to Kriti Patel, who has been nominated by BAPS of Houston. The next Youth Award will be for Anish Nayak, who has been nominated by Seva International Houston. Next award goes to Abhimanyu Agarwal, who has been nominated by Vishwa Hindu Parishad. Next will be Namita Palod, who's been nominated by Sanatan Hindu Center. And last but not the least, we do have Komal Luthra, who is not able to be present with us today, but I will be taking the award on behalf of her, and she's been nominated by Young Hindus of Greater Houston.
Thank you, sir. Thank you very much. Appreciate it.
I see we've got new people coming in.
Namaste and Jai Sri Krishna. It is my honor to introduce Sri Nitishji Bharadwaj, who is an actor, producer, director, screenwriter, veterinary doctor and member of parliament. In year 1988, he became overnight popular for playing a role of Bhagwan Sri Krishna in a TV series, Mahabharat, produced by B.R. Chopra. मैं आपसे एक किस्सा सुनाना चाहता हूँ. In 2007, when we invited him to celebrate Grand Janmashtami in Houston, तब उनसे एक प्रश्न पूछा, नितिश जी आप कौन से होटल में रुकना चाहेंगे? नितिश जी ने पूछा, क्या आपका मकान इतना छोटा है ताकि मेरे लिए कोई जगह नहीं रहने के लिए? I got the point. He is truly very admirable person.
यदा हि धर्मस्य ग्लानिर्भवति भारत अभ्युत्थानम् अधर्मस्य तदात्मानं सृजाम्यहम् परित्राणाय साधूनां विनाशाय च दुष्कृतां धर्म संस्थापनार्थाय संभवामि युगे युगे.
नमस्कार, मैं नीतीश भारद्वाज हिंदूज ऑफ ग्रेटर ह्यूस्टन के सारे ऑर्गेनाइजर्स को जो ये आयोजन किया है हिंदू यूथ अवार्ड्स का, और बाकी सारे हिंदूज़ को भी जो NRIs हैं जो ह्यूस्टन में रह रहे हैं, पूरे अमेरिका में रह रहे हैं, आप सबको मेरा नमस्कार और प्रणाम. हाँ, मैं बहुत खुश हूँ आज फिर से एक बार इस मंच पर आपके सामने आने के लिए. कई वर्षों पहले मैं जन्माष्टमी के एक अवसर पर आपके समक्ष उपस्थित हुआ था, या कहूँ अवतरित हुआ था. वो अवतरित कहूँगा तो इमॉडेस्टी हो जाएगी. आई एम अ मॉर्टल सोल जस्ट लाइक ऑल ऑफ यू. यू आर माई ब्रदर्स एंड सिस्टर्स एंड एल्डर्स एंड wonderful young people who are doing such wonderful work. पर जन्माष्टमी के लिए मैं जब आया था तो बहुत प्रसन्नता मुझे हुई थी तब आपका सारा काम देख के. हमेशा से ये एक चर्चा का विषय रहा है कि क्यों हम अलग अलग ग्रुप्स में एकत्रित होना चाहते हैं. हिंदूज एकत्रित होना चाह रहे हैं, जूज एकत्रित होना चाह रहे हैं, मुसलमान एकत्रित हैं, सारे संप्रदाय और धर्मों के लोग आपस में एकत्रित क्यों होना चाहते हैं? वो एक दूसरे से मिलना क्यों नहीं चाहते? तो ऐसी बात नहीं है कि हिंदू जो हैं वो दूसरों से मिलते नहीं हैं. जैसे मेरे कुछ अमेरिका और इंग्लैंड के जो मित्र हैं, जो जूज हैं, जो प्रोटेस्टेंट क्रिश्चियंस हैं या कैथोलिक क्रिश्चियंस हैं, उनको भी मैं देखता हूँ वो सबके साथ घुल मिलकर रहते हैं, एक साथ एकत्रित रहते हैं. वैसे ही हम हिंदूज तो हम लोगों ने ये प्रूव कर दिया है पूरे विश्व के सामने कि हम जहां भी जाते हैं वहां की जो संस्कृति है उसमें बिल्कुल उसी तरह से समा जाते हैं जैसे दूध में शक्कर घुल मिल जाती है. और वहाँ की संस्कृति को हम हिंदू जब जाते हैं तो और समृद्ध करते हैं, अपनी मिठास उस संस्कृति को देते हैं और उस संस्कृति का जो अच्छा है वो भी अपना लेते हैं. ये हमारी विशेषता है क्योंकि ये हमारे सनातन हिंदू धर्म की सीख है और ये हमारा विश्वास है कि हम इसी प्रकार से अगर जिएंगे तो विश्व में शांति फैलेगी. ये हमारी विशेषता है. और यह विशेषता मैंने पारसी लोगों में भी देखी है। तो पारसी लोग जब ईरान से और पर्शिया से आए थे तो गुजरात के राजा ने उनसे पूछा था कि आप यहाँ आके रहना चाहते हो, बसना चाहते हो, किस प्रकार से रहोगे? तो उन्होंने ये कहा था कि हम ऐसे रहेंगे जैसे दूध में शक्कर। हम मिल जाएंगे आपकी सभ्यता में, लेकिन हम अपनी संस्कृति का जतन करते हुए, मीठा दूध जो है उसमें दूध का भी स्वाद आता है और शक्कर का भी स्वाद आता है, गुड़ का भी स्वाद आता है। तो अपनी सभ्यता को रखते हुए दूसरी सभ्यता को समृद्ध करते रहना, ये हमारी एक विशेषता रही है। और ये आप सब एनआरआईज ने, विशेषकर हिंदू एनआरआईज ने ये दिखा दिया है, जिसके कारण आज हम इतने सम्मानित हैं। हिंदू यदि अमेरिका में या पूरे विश्व में सम्मानित है एक सनातन धर्म के रूप में या सभ्यता के रूप में, तो उसका कारण आप एनआरआईज हैं, क्योंकि आप लोग हमारी सभ्यता के, संस्कृति के और शांति के दूत हैं। आप लोग हमारे शांति दूत हैं। आई एम वेरी प्राउड ऑफ ऑल ऑफ यू। और इसीलिए ये एकत्रित रहना भी इसलिए आवश्यक है कि सभ्यता धरोहर के रूप में अगली पीढ़ी को प्रदान की जाए। सभ्यता या सिविलाइजेशन, सनातन धर्म इतना आसान नहीं है कि 4 किताबों में लिख दें और वो किताबें पढ़ के लोग समझ जाए, अगली पीढ़ी समझ जाए। उसको बार बार सेलिब्रेट करना पड़ता है। उसके जो टेनेट्स हैं सभ्यता के, अगली पीढ़ी उसको अनुभव करे। मैं हमेशा से ये कहता हूं कि पढ़ना एक चीज होती है, पढ़ने से बहुत कुछ नॉलेज मिल जाता है, लेकिन उसी चीज को जब आप अनुभव करते हो, और उसके आगे जाकर मैं एक शब्द का प्रयोग करूंगा, उसकी अनुभूति। अनुभूति का अंग्रेजी शब्द मैं नहीं जानता। दैट फीलिंग विच कम्स आउट ऑफ एन एक्सपीरियंस। रास गरबा खेलना है, हमने अगर पढ़ लिया कि ऐसे खेलते हैं, हमने वीडियो में देख लिया कि गरबा और रास इस प्रकार से खेली जाती है, अच्छा लगता है देख के। बट व्हेन यू डू इट, when you experience playing that garba and ras, that dance, what you feel within, that happiness, that joy, that sense of fulfillment, that is अनुभूति। और उसको करने के लिए, अनुभूति को फील करने के लिए, अपनी सभ्यता के, हर एक की सभ्यता के जितने टेनेट्स हैं, जितने उत्सव हैं, फेस्टिवल्स हैं, या जितने यज्ञ हैं, कर्मकांड हैं, उनको परफॉर्म करते रहना बहुत आवश्यक है। एंड दैट इज व्हाई गेटिंग टुगेदर इज इंपॉर्टेंट, सो दैट आवर नेक्स्ट जनरेशन गेट समथिंग एज अ धरोहर। We pass it on to the next generation. And one of the best things that our Sanatan Dharma teaches is peace, spreading peace. A lot of people talk to me about how can Krishna talk about peace because he initiated the war. No, he did not initiate the war. He tried to stop the war, but when he realized that nobody, especially Duryodhan, Dhritarashtra, Shakuni, don't want peace, then the war becomes inevitable. Because कई सारे युद्ध जो हैं वो धर्म युद्ध बन जाते हैं. They are not simple battles. They are dharma yuddha. A war that is fought for a larger, greater than life, greater than any of us kind of a reason, that war becomes dharma yuddha. And then the war becomes inevitable. And then wars have to be fought the way wars are to be fought. Tit for tat. But Krishna still is the Shanti Doot. Likewise, मुझे कई लोग पूछते हैं कि अवार्ड्स क्यों दिए जाते हैं. आप तो बोलते हो कर्मण्येवाधिकारस्ते मां फलेषु कदाचन मां कर्म फल हेतुर्भूः माते संगोस्त्व कर्मणि, कर्म करो और फल की चिंता मत करो और भूल जाओ। सही बात है, कर्म करते हुए फल की अपेक्षा नहीं करनी चाहिए। We have to do our best, we have to give our best as an individual, as a professional, as a part of the society, part of family, and forget about the fruits. But such award functions and such awards are nothing but encouragement. This encouragement, you think of yourself when you were a child, when you did well, you were given an award, people clapped for you. It's an encouragement. You feel like doing better. And all you youth, Hindu youth of mine, my brothers and sisters, if you are encouraged, whatever good work you are doing for the society and for the country you are living in and for the Samaj that you are living in and your friends of different cultures, whatever good you are doing for them, if you are encouraged, you will do even more. Isn't that what we want? We want goodness to spread. We want peace to spread. We want benevolence to spread. So that eventually our race of mankind eventually someday finds peace. It's an uphill task. Because man is restless, he's disturbed. That's why we are seeing so many disturbances around. In that, we have to do our bit as a Hindu and spread the good tenets of Hinduism through our actions. You see, many people talk good things, okay? So I always feel, that words can denote or represent your intention. But actions talk louder than the words. Even if you don't talk, that's fine. Consistently keep on doing good action, positive action. That is what the world requires today. And that is what Hindus of Greater Houston are doing. Bravo, kudos to all of you. All young youth, middle-aged people with so much energy, you're doing such a fantastic job. I'm proud of you. And all the old people, who I don't call them old, they're only more experienced people. They're guiding all of you so well. पिछले 10 साल में मैंने देखा वो वीडियो, आपका HGH का काम कितना बढ़ गया है. I'm so happy. I'm so proud of all of you that you are bringing accolades to India, to Bharat, and it's because of you that people are respecting Bharat. Because of people like you. I must congratulate all those youth icons of Houston who are being awarded this year. Please continue to do your great work and inspire more people to do what you are doing. I'm happy to be here on this dais. Unfortunately, this year everything is online, everything is through Zoom and digital platforms, but it's a new way of connecting, isn't it? It's such a wonderful way of connecting. I'm not there, but still I'm there. It's exactly like being omnipresent, right? I'm joking. I sometimes love to do this khilwad, just cross that boundary line of man to Krishna and come back to man, because I know eventually I am a mere mortal who believes in Krishna as a movement. He was a social movement, a political movement, a spiritual movement. What a great personality. What a great God to love and follow, And all our gods represent something. So one God is no better than the other. All are equal. So please keep getting inspired by the tenets of our dharma and bring more and more accolades to Bharat. I'm very proud of all of you, you youth people. Congratulations on your awards and congratulations for Hindus of Greater Houston, the organization, and all the organizers who relentlessly are working, and even in these difficult times you have still managed to continue with these awards and the good work. Happy to be here. Namaskaram.
Hi everyone, my name is Raj Salhotra, President of the Young Hindus of Greater Houston, and I want to thank you all for joining us here today at this Hindu Youth Awards. I want to say, as a former recipient of this award in 2013, I can tell you how important it is to inspire the next generation, students like myself, to believe in service, and believe in giving back to the community. So I'm asking you to join us today and support the Hindu Youth Awards and HGH in whatever way you can, because it's this organization and this award and this recognition that helps inspire folks to believe in what's possible and to believe that service and duty and greater selflessness in the community is what we must do. So thank you, and thank you again for joining us today at the Hindu Youth Awards.
This is Tara Narasimhan, President of the Hindus of Greater Houston. On behalf of HGH, I propose a vote of thanks on the 10th Annual Hindu Youth Awards and Virtual Gala. It is said that we can accomplish great things if many of us join hands and work together with confidence. We will tide over difficulties even in this pandemic times. I sincerely thank you all for joining us at our virtual annual Hindu Youth Awards. We owe thanks to many who helped us in this event and have helped us all through the year. I present this thank you video clip to acknowledge our thanks and gratitude, above all to Lord Sri Krishna for making this possible. Thank you and namaskar.